Hi, my name is Samantha Harris, and this is my second book critique. The first book I will be talking about is called Pax by Sarah Pennypacker. This is a story about a boy Peter and his pet fox, Pax. The story begins when we see Peter and his father driving Pax out into the forest to let him go, against Peter's will. This decision eats away at Peter, and soon after he sets off on an adventure by himself to go find his fox. Because the story of Pax has a lot to do about the war and his father going off into the war, the first lesson I have created for this book is for a 6th grade history lesson. The students will be put into pairs of 2. Each pair will pick a war or a particular battle of a war and create a timeline. They'll create this timeline using readwriteandthinktimeline.org. After they've created it, they will post it to their Pearl Tree community and/or classroom. Each student will have to comment and reflect on one other student's timelines, and then there will be an in-class discussion on their comments and questions. Here is an example of the Pearl Tree community/classroom that the students will be a part of. This is what it would look like, and each student would be responsible for creating their timeline and posting it on here. For an example, I have created a timeline on World War II and just picking different battles that I thought were significant all the way to the end of the war. This is something very similar to what the students in their groups will be creating. The second lesson I have prepared is a 7th grade English lesson. The students will partake in a hot seat activity in class. The class will be divided into 2 groups. Each group must write and carry out a skit based on the book and their own perspectives of the characters and storyline. The performance will be filmed, and a member of each group will be responsible to share the video in their Pearl Tree community. After this, there will be a verbal discussion for them to reflect on what worked and what didn't work. The next book is called Babushka and the 3 Kings, written by Ruth Robbins. This story is adapted from a Russian folk tale. It's about an old Russian woman named Babushka who gets visited by the 3 wise men. She turns them away at first, but later on has a change of heart and goes on her journey to find the newborn child. The next book is called A Tree is Nice, written by Janice May Udry. This is a simple picture book that discusses the uses of trees, what they can do, and why we should plant more of them. It's a very whimsical way of promoting environmental change and for children to care about it at such a young age. The next book is called The Hello Goodbye Window by Norton Juster. This is a story about a kitchen window. This window allows for children to bond with their grandparents. The window in the kitchen specifically allows them to watch the stars, see the weather, and share goofy moments together as they imagine all sorts of things that they can see through this window. The next book is called Sam, Bangs, and Moonshine, written and illustrated by Evelyn Ness. This is a story about a little girl named Samantha who has a very bad habit of lying. She creates all sorts of stories in her head and is constantly manipulating her friends around her to go along with these stories. Eventually, her lies backfire on her, and she has to learn that sometimes, and most times, it's better to tell the truth. This next book is called This Is Not My Hat by John Clausen. This is a hilarious story about a fish who steals a big fish's hat. Throughout the story, the fish is narrating to the reader on ways that the big fish will not find him. But eventually, the big fish does find the small fish and takes back his hat. The next book is called Where the Sidewalk Ends, written and illustrated by Shel Silverstein. This is a collection of short poems, including Hug a War, Listen to the Mussets, Pancake, and my favorite, True Story. The last book I will be talking about in this critique is called Casey at the Bat, written by Christopher Bing. This is a poem that tells the happenings of a baseball game where Casey, a loved player, is at the bat, and he might not have the best of luck towards the end. Thanks for watching!